Hello, and welcome to 5 in 5-ish. This is a place where you can find news nuggets that you may or may not have heard about.
There are some new exciting things happening with this new Trump administration. And the number one thing that I want to begin with is the truth about executive orders. At this point, he has about 300 or so. So let's tackle some of at least my favorite executive orders and exactly what executive orders are. Okay, an executive order is a document that directs the actions of the federal government. You need to keep in mind, though, that an executive order isn't a law, but can carry the weight of one. Okay, now, an executive order is not a law. Laws are lengthy in process. Congress has to propose a bill, which needs to go through committee, or a lot of committees and revisions, which must be approved by the majority of votes in Congress, which is the House and Senate. Now, the bill is then, once it's approved and gone through all of this stuff, is then sent to the president. And if he signs off on it, then it becomes a law. So, the difference between an executive order and a law is that an executive order is issued by the president without consultation or permission from Congress. However, keep this in mind that when a president issues an executive order, the order must specify or name or identify or define what authority is used to make this order, and it has to use either a law or the Constitution, okay? And the people who are watching and making sure that this executive order is constitutional or lawful is the judicial branch of our government. And all executive orders are subject to judicial review, and the courts has the power to invalidate any executive decision. Other ways that an executive order can be invalidated is through Congress. Congress has the power to refuse to spend money to carry out an order. Also, they can pass legislation to invalidate an order. And finally, a future president can come along and overturn any past president's executive orders. So an executive order has the weight of a law, but it can be changed very quickly. And that's something you can't really do with the law. So I think it's interesting to know the difference between an executive order and a law, because I was confused about that. I was like, oh yes, but no. There are differences between an executive order and a law. Although an executive order feels like a law, it's not. Let's end with a couple of fun facts. I know it seems like President Trump is just doing a ton of executive orders, but Franklin Roosevelt issued over 3,700 executive orders. Wow, that's a lot of executive orders. Also, the most famous, or in my opinion, famous executive order is the Emancipation Proclamation in 1862, which freed the slaves. It later turned into a law, but the freedom of the slaves started with an executive order. Thanks for coming by. I hope you were enlightened. Take care.